All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Increase. I'm Blake Anderson. Welcome to episode 46. Hey, I really appreciate you wherever you're listening, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. Really helps. Also, if you didn't know that we shoot these episodes live on Zoom, and there's a Zoom link that you can find on our Facebook page, and you can find it in the descriptions. Join us live Thursdays, noon Eastern Standard Time. If you want to talk more about this after the episode's over, I stick around and answer questions, talk to anyone who's live in the Zoom room. So let me ask you a couple questions. Are you ready for more? Do you want more? More money, more business, more responsibilities, promotion? But do you ever wonder where your increase is going to come? When is it going to come? Where is it going to come from? Maybe you're frustrated. Oh, I have to start this over. Technical difficulties on YouTube. Bear with us. There we go. All right. Working through some technical difficulties. Let me get this. Let's just go ahead and start from the top. Welcome back to Increase. I'm Blake Anderson. This is episode 46. Appreciate you wherever you're listening. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. We're also here on Zoom. If you've never joined us live on Zoom, check the Zoom link in the description. Love to see you here Thursdays at noon Eastern Standard Time. So let me ask you a question. Are you ready for more? Do you want more? More money? More business? More responsibilities? Do you ever wonder where your more is coming from, or maybe wonder when your more is coming to you? Surely I can't be on my own that I want more than I have right now. Maybe that's the human experience. We have this desire for more. You know, God told us in the Bible, Genesis chapter 1, be fruitful and multiply. We just feel this in us to want to expand, want to increase, to want more for our lives. But are you like I've been many seasons in my life, frustrated when more just doesn't seem to come, or it seems to be just out of my reach? Well, stick around through this episode. We're going to talk about how to get ready for more, the things you can start doing today that can make you ready for more and hopefully start seeing increase in your business and in your life. I see a lot of leaders in my organization, meeting out in business. They want so much. They have big plans. They long for increase. They want to see expansion in their lives and in their business, but they don't seem to know how to put their hands on it. They seem to be focusing on all the wrong things. And the question that I always ask them is, do you even have room for more? Are you ready for the more that you're wanting? You see, you have to understand that more comes to where there's room for it. Let me say that again. This is so simple, but this is how it works. More comes to where there's room for it. Oftentimes, the people that want more, they don't have room for more. They don't have any extra time. They don't have any extra capacity. They don't have the team to handle the more that they want. So why even bother wanting more if you're not ready for it? But yet we can't help ourselves. So we want to talk about the fundamental spiritual principle to more, and it's really the vacuum law of increase. And you have to know that God supplies the need. More comes where there's room to more. Where you want more, you've got to make room for it. In the business world, I would say this: you have to expand your capacity for more. You see, most people are trying to get more by chasing more and ignoring their current responsibilities. They're ignoring their responsibility to create capacity for more by chasing more or by visualizing and wanting more, but they don't really have room for more. You see, if you want more, you've got to make room for it. And by law, when you do, it will come. See, I've lived this season after season. I've worked on the business, I've created capacity, and without even asking for more business or asking for more money, more has come to my business. Every time we go up to another level, more has come. And so you learn this proactive process of creating room. You see, if you're always longing for more, yet don't know how to get your hands on it, probably you have a reactive leadership style. You more want to react to the more when it comes to you. Let me tell you this, if you're waiting for more to come before you start creating room for it, before you start making a process for it, you're probably going to be waiting a really long time. You've got to start making room for more even before it shows up on your doorstep. Once you've decided that increase or more, business, money, what have you, is what you want next, then you better start working on a plan to make room for it so you can receive it when it gets to you. You can't start building the process for your increase once the increase comes. It will never come. I know I've said this multiple times, but it has to get through to your head. I see way too many leaders complaining that there's not enough or that they want more. And they spend their extra time complaining and commiserating on how they don't have what they want, but they don't spend their extra time creating room for the more. When you work on your process and you create room for more, more comes. You work on your process normally to catch up with it. You create room for more, more comes. You work on your process to handle the more, to create room for more, more comes. More will always find where there is room to come. So I want to go over a couple things. First, I want to give you a two-step process to start getting more going in your life. And then I want to address the issue of hiring and staffing and right team size when you're trying to go after more. Because these are the things that I see the difference between proactive leaders and reactive leaders. And there's a major major difference in their results than the proactive people who are always preparing for more versus the reactive people who are always waiting for it. You see, proactive people don't wait for more. They're working now because they know it's going to come. Reactive people say, I don't want to waste my time. So when more business starts to come, then I will invest in my business. Then I'll take the time to get it ready. And that is the fundamental difference. In the same, you see a fundamental difference in how hiring and staffing goes in organizations that are growing. Some organizations grow really fast and then have to fire because they didn't do it right. And other organizations seem to just flow from one season to the next, always bringing on the right people in the right way. So first, what do you do if you want more? Where do you start? Where do you look? Okay. First thing that you've got to do after you've decided, I want to raise, I want more business, I want more responsibility. First step is you have to look at what's in your hands. What are you responsible for right now? First things first, do better with what you have. Do a better job. Serve your customer better. Serve your team better. Be more productive. You've got to do a better job right now. Oftentimes I hear leaders saying there's not enough, but they're have mediocre results to couple their complaint. Now, how can you complain to me that you don't have enough business, but then you have an excuse for your mediocre results? First things first, you've got to clean up your results. You've got to clean up your performance. So before you start complaining about what you don't have, you need to look in your hands and say, what do I have? And how can I do a better job with it? Be honest. Are you serving your customers well? Are you hitting your deadlines? Are you on budget? Are you leading your team? Remove all excuses that you have for why your results are not good. Step number one, do a better job with what's in your hands. After you've done that, step number two is you start improving and creating process for more. Okay? You don't wait till you double your volume to start creating a better process. Trust me, you'll never double your volume without a better process. Okay. If you want to increase your volume, you start changing and improving your process right now. So ask yourself this question. First, what is the more that you want? Do you want to double your income? Do you want more sales? Like, what's the best thing that could happen to you? What's the best amount of increase that could really happen? Is it 50% more? Is it double? Is it triple? Whatever it is, let me ask you this. Let's just say, for instance, you want to double your business in the next few months. If I gave you double the business tomorrow, what would you do with it? Can you handle double the responsibilities, double the orders, double the tasks, double the requests right now? And if the answer is no, then you got to go to work. You ain't ready for more. See, double the amount of business will come when you have the process that can handle that amount of activity. So that's where you can identify where the work needs to be. Do you and your team function well together? Are you still dropping balls? Is there still mistakes being made? Is there still details that aren't being passed appropriately? Are you still missing deadlines? That's where you begin to go to work. You identify what needs to be fixed for your current workload. And then you think, if I had double this amount, what would I need? Would I need more people? Would I need a better process? Would I need more software? What do I need to be able to handle double? And you'll begin to see the steps you need to get ready for more. See, what you don't need is more complaining, and what you don't need is to spend more money on marketing. Maybe you might, but a lot of businesses, if they would just improve their process, more business would just show up out of the bushes, seemingly from an unknown source. If you are an organizational leader, you're going to have to begin to think, what are the processes in my company that empower me to handle the volume they have? What's the process I have in my team? And then what's my personal productivity process? Can I personally handle more? You see, if you're overwhelmed where you're at right now, then you're not ready for more. But there's always ways to get a handle on your life to be able to create capacity for you personally. So start with your personal capacity. First thing you want to do is you want to get everything organized. You need to organize your life. And here's where you don't organize it. You don't organize your life in your head. You need to take all of that information that you are trying to manage right here in your brain, and it's got to come out. And you need a system to bring it out of your head. Now look on this bookshelf. And if I could recommend a book, I'd recommend this book, Getting Things Done. Best personal productivity book you will find. Simple, effective process. David Allen teaches you a simple, effective process for productivity. And all he's doing is showing you how to get these details out of your mind. When the details are not in your mind, now you're free to be creative and you're free to manage and more, and you create more capacity. And so you put these details into filing systems, you put them into software, and you put it into process. So you've got to first expand your own personal productivity. Then you start working on the productivity of your team. And then you start working on the productivity of your company. Now, if you start doing that, more is going to come. And I see a lot of younger, newer businesses. I met with a friend of mine who's an entrepreneur the other day, and there's a small office, just him and a partner that are doing a lot. And they've got some opportunities coming to them, and they feel like they're not really able to serve their current opportunities really well. And they feel like they're understaffed, and they're thinking, well, we probably need to hire. They're kind of understanding that if they want to do more, they need to have capacity for more, and trying to wade through as new business owners. What's that process look like? How do we expand? What do we grow? Can I afford it? And so in my business building experience, I think there's a 5-step process that you need to go through when you expand the capacity of your team. Okay. And this will help you because oftentimes expanding your capacity is going to cost some money, and it may cost money that you don't have. And this is kind of a painful process that some businesses go through when they spend money they don't have to grow, and they grow their company out past their revenue, and they can't afford their staff, and they can't afford all their expenses. And so there's a smart way to do this. And there's a process. So step number 1, if you're taking notes, let's say you want to grow your team. Maybe you're the business owner, maybe you're a team leader. But either way, everybody in the organization should know these 5 steps. And if you'll start to put these in the right order, you'll start to prepare your team to have more and be able to scale up. First step is you've got to organize your business. Okay. Just like I said, for personal productivity, same thing for company productivity. You think you need a new employee. Really, what you need is to get organized. You may not need anybody new. You just may need a process that works. Trust me, getting things organized alone might create capacity that you didn't know you have. Many new business leaders, when they get overwhelmed, immediately think, I've got to hire someone. I got to get somebody in here. Maybe, but maybe you just need to get organized. Maybe you're just a mess. All right, step number 2. You got to improve the process and the productivity. All right, and the first step is organization. The second is, how does everything work? Does it work smoothly? Do people know how to work together? Are they an effective team? Does everybody know what's required of them? Are there redundancies? Are there balls getting dropped? Are people getting out of order? You got to iron out that process that you have as a team and you have as a company. You should be able to do everything the exact same way every time you do it. You shouldn't continue to have questions on, is this Joe's responsibility or is this Aaron's responsibility? You should know who's responsible for what and what triggers a person getting involved. A lot of times your capacity is limited because you guys are dropping balls, because people are doing the same thing twice, because people are spending time wondering, am I supposed to do something here? Because you haven't ironed out your process. If everyone on the team cannot clearly draw on a whiteboard on a piece of paper who's responsible for what, then it is not clear enough. Everyone should know at all times who's doing what, when, and when they need to get involved. That's step number 2. You get organized and you do that, already you're creating capacity. And likely you're going to do a better job with your hat before you start spending any money. It takes no money to do that. And you'll see incredible results starting tomorrow if you would just do this. You get organized and you iron the kinks out of your process. All right, third step of this expansion so that you're able to handle more. Third step is you need to look at your current software that you're using. Maybe you're not using anything enterprise version. Maybe you're just using Google or Microsoft OneDrive. You might be using Google Sheets and Google Drive. Hey, you can do a lot of business, and teams can work really well just using these shared online software. And we do a lot, even in our growing organization, with Google Sheets and Google Drive. But the first place you start, before you think you need to hire, before you think you need to spend money on expensive software, is you need to look at the software you are using. Chances are it's got more functionality than you are getting out of it. What functionality does this software have that I don't currently use? Watch YouTube videos on the software you use. Chances are you're going to find out there's some things it can already start helping you with today. I'll tell you a story. We had been using Google Drive and Google Sheets exclusively in our organization, and we were on the cusp of feeling like we needed software. And then I made a very simple, profound discovery about Google Sheets that I had never known. For years, I didn't even know this functionality was there. And the functionality is, on a Google Sheets spreadsheet, you can do a comment on an individual cell directed towards someone on your team and ask them a question. That right there saved us phone calls, saved us emails, saved us drop balls, just because I could start commenting to the other members of my team. Hey, is this number correct? Maybe it's a checklist. Has this been done yet? See, that little functionality added capacity to my team. What software are you using, and are you using all of it? Before you think you need more or you need more people, you need to get more out of your current software. See, these first 3 cost you no money. You get organized, you get your process clear, and you get more out of your current software. These 3 cost you no money, and you will immediately start expanding your capacity, which means you'll expand your business before you spent any money. Now, listen, you start expanding your capacity, which means your business starts to grow or your income starts to grow. Now you start to have money to invest in going to a whole another level. You don't want to immediately start spending money to try to get to the next level and spending money you don't have. You need to get income coming in. You need to get revenue generating. And then you'll start to see, okay, at this pace, if I could expand my capacity out a little bit more, then I could get a lot more business. Now you can start to see, is it worth the extra $100 a month? Will this extra $100 a month make me an extra 1,000? Okay. So when you have maxed out your current software, then you go looking for new software. Okay. And new software is going to cost you money. It's going to cost $100 a month. It's going to cost $1,000 a month, depending on the industry that you're in. But this investment should expand the capacity of your business. It shouldn't just replace the amount of money that you spend. Okay. It should multiply your business. Twofold, threefold, fourfold. You should get that much more income out of the cost of the software. If you can't double, triple, 10 times your revenue that you get out of the software, it's not time for that software. All right. So that's the software. That's still really affordable, because remember, a lot of these business owners, they get overwhelmed. What do they think they need? Oh, I got to hire. Well, hiring is expensive. Okay, so you're hiring, even if you hired an admin level person at full time, we're talking 50, 60 grand in your cost. Oftentimes, like this friend of mine, a small business owner, he's talking about bringing on someone who's going to bring $120,000 salary. That's his first knee-jerk reaction. I'm overwhelmed. I better hire someone at $120,000. There's other steps that you can go through first before you get there. I pray that his business gets to the point where he can hire that person at $120,000. But let's do these other steps first, because chances are there's more money you can make with your current cost structure. So that new so it's organized. Then it's fix your process. Then it's use your current software to its fullest. Then you bring new software. Then at the point the new software is working, the new software should then empower you to grow your team, because that new software should increase your capacity and where you need more people. And at that point, you should have more business and more revenue coming. Now, this process works if you're a solopreneur. This process works if you have a business and a team. This process works if you're an employee and you just want to have more going on in your life and you just want more responsibility, or you want to get a raise. All right. For you, it might be, do I hire an admin? Someone might need a COO, right? But you got to do these other steps first. Now, are you ready for more? Are you ready for more? Let's review the steps we went through. Don't be like the leaders I see who are complaining about there's not enough business. Oh, the economy. Oh, interest rates. But while they're complaining on it, they're not working on their business. They're complaining about their lack, but they don't have room for more if it wanted to come to them. Right? First place you start is what you're working on right now. You're not ready for more if you don't do an excellent job with what you're responsible for. You hear me? You are not ready for more if you can't do an excellent job with what you have already. So start there. And then you start working on the process, and you create capacity personally with your productivity. You create capacity with your team and your team's process, and you create capacity as a company for more to come. And if you will do that, I guarantee you, more is on the way. Thanks for joining me this week for Increase. Come back next week for episode 47. Join me live on Zoom, noons Eastern Standard Time. If you happen to be watching live on YouTube, you can click the link in the chat, and we'll see you over here on Zoom. I'll stick around for a few minutes, talk some more about